Video games have become one of the largest mediums for storytelling. A compelling plot, complex characters, and authentic personalities are crucial to being immersed in each world we experience. The Level Infinite team traveled to London for a recording session with director Damian Goodwin as he directs the actors behind the rich, foreboding, and fallen world of Synced Off-Planet.
The world is very unique and it's got a really interesting lore, and the characters that come into that world and inhabit that world all come with a backstory, all come with something a mystery that they want to solve or something that they need to do within the Meridian. It's a game that's going to unravel over seasons, so there's only certain parts of the story I know at this point in time.
Okay.
I mean, that's going to be something that's going to evolve, and even though I maybe have a sense of the overarching personalities and the overarching backstories in terms of the intricacies of how that happens and where and when and with whom, that's a mystery to me too.
Okay, so how do you approach non-linear storytelling like this in this title?
I think what's important from my point of view is having as much understanding as possible in terms of the context that you need to feed the actors in order for them to deliver good performances. Line by line, with a sense of what happened immediately before, what's happening afterwards, what's the environment they're in, and who are they talking to. So I think as long as you remain true to the character, then the storytelling is clear.
Far from it. Bit scuffed up, sure, but otherwise you're right as rain.
Can we just run through it once while I'm in here?
It's deeper than we've ever been. You were way in there, weren't you?
Never been the type to go halfway.
So for a title like this, do you put more emphasis on the environmental circumstances or the character-driven moments?
I think environment is, and your immediate response to environment is kind of fundamental in games. But I think what you try and find moments where the character reveals themselves, or where we get like moments of nuance where we feel that this person is reacting uniquely within the space to anyone else. So, and that's not immediately obvious. You kind of try and find that in subtle ways, really, that there are moments that are very character-driven, but in accordance with what they are.
How about Double or Nothing? Ace, my man, welcome back.
So how has working on Synced been compared to your other titles, as Dusk Falls and Returnal?
So Synced has been a great experience. I mean, I think one of the things I've really loved about Synced is, working with Kevin Short, who I've worked with before, because I think he has a really thorough, detailed attitude to the work. It's been a project that not only from the character universe point of view, but from also the pleasure of working with Tencent and ostensibly with Kevin has been fantastic, and it feels like this is how it should be.
You're clearly very good at what you did. Been going at this since 9 a.m. with making sure that they do some of the actors do their lines over. Helping players connect to these characters is hard. How do you help them connect?
Through truth and authenticity, I think. Any audience, whether it's cinema, TV, or games, are very expert at sniffing out untruth and lack of authenticity. Right. And I think that in terms of a game like this, which you want to be really immersive, you just try and make the performances as truthful as possible. For me, it's always the question, do I believe this, is how I approach every line. And because if I don't believe it, then I don't think then the players will. And what you don't want to do is you don't want someone to be immediately pulled out of the world and the universe because they don't believe the way a character is behaving.
That when the location comes to you at the end.
Yeah.
I think it's almost like that comes to you in the moment, as if that's the only thing that is in your mind, you know what I mean? So it's like it's almost like that's a discovery that you make in the moment, rather than you've woken up knowing that. It's like you're trying to work out what's the lights in the sky is coming round, a sort of giddiness to it, and then it's that moment of like, I don't know anything, but I can tell that I know the location.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I call you Amelia?
I'm dead, right?
Far from it. A bit scuffed up, sure, but otherwise you're right as rain.
You want to tell me what you were up to in the Meridian?
I don't know. I remember lights in the sky, and then I was here.
This marking, what is it?
Listen, Lieutenant, out here any stranger is a potential threat. Now, I want to help you, but you've got to give me something more than just lights in the sky.
How about a location?